and rain. Eyes are fire, flame. We don't even know our name.
Hello, friends. It is Danielle. I'm back with another solo episode for you. Excuse my stuffy nose. I've been, cold flu season weather, and of course it got me. I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about some changes that have been happening in my life and share with you how difficult it's been and the things that I'm learning. And so many of you know that I have a business and I have a small salon, and I realized recently that my lease was going to be up at the end of December, and I was thinking to myself, this town is not quite where I want to be forever. It's been hard to fill the spaces in my salon. I wanted to try to create a specific kind of community and stylists in my salon, and I wasn't really able to do that, and I wasn't profiting. So I was like, maybe I need to look around. So I did for a couple of weeks. I looked at some different salons and different places and struggled within myself to try to figure out if it was the right thing to do. And I was asking myself, am I a failure if I close this salon? Is this my baby and now I'm giving it up for adoption? Am I failing as a parent? And I was freaking out a little bit and worried that I'm never going to be able to open a salon again. People are going to think I fail. It is a beautiful place. It brought me joy. It was a great place to go to. I needed to be there. All of those things. And I don't know why, but that scene from Friends where I think it's Ross and Chandler, or Ross and whatever his name is, the goofy guy, are carrying somebody. I don't know who it was. Anyways, they're carrying this couch up the stairs, and Ross is like screaming, "Pivot! Pivot! Pivot!" And that's like all I kept thinking about while I was thinking about this. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a failure. I'm pivoting in my life. So I just kept screaming to myself, "Pivot! Pivot! Pivot!" And I'm just pivoting because you know what the beauty of life is that you can recreate yourself and do whatever you want multiple times, and that's okay. And I realized I needed to be alone and focus on myself, get out of debt again, kind of reassess where I wanted to go in life. I'm not really sure if a salon right now is the best idea in this economy and this industry. It could be profitable. Plenty of people are profitable. But I think at the moment it's best for me to not have a salon with other people in it at the moment. So I was looking around and I found a place that I fell in love with. It was a beautiful window suite in a new place that has never been a salon suite before. And I got really excited about it. It's the only place that I got excited about. And the price was like a little bit more than I wanted to pay. Technically, it was more than my whole salon space, but I told myself I would save money because I didn't have all the extra added expenses onto it. But they were telling me, this is new and people are very interested in this. So if you really want it, you need to jump on this quick. And I was like, well, my lease isn't up for like 2 months. And I would definitely had people interested in my salon space. And I was like, let me see if I can get out early. I was like, can you work with me on the price of this for paying for November and all of that? And so they did. They gave it to me at a discounted price for November, and I was supposed to start in December. I ended up selling my salon back to the girl that I bought it from, which is awesome. She's cool. We stayed in contact. I'm excited for her. And anyways, I downsized. I went through all my stuff. I moved out. I cleaned, moved into my new space on Thanksgiving by myself, back and forth, back and forth. It was kind of a whirlwind. It was a lot. I started to try to settle in, and I immediately noticed that the windows in my salon space, which I wanted, were great, but at multiple times a day, the sun was beaming in there and like directly in my eyes and my client's eyes while I was working. So I moved my space around to try to figure out a better option. It didn't work. It was still very bright in my eyes. And so I told the owner I need to hang up some curtains. And he said, oh, you got to talk to my wife about that. And I was like, why would I need to talk to your wife about hanging up curtains? Anyway, she comes in And she introduces herself, and I said, hi. We were chatting for a bit, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put up some curtains because the light is like blinding me multiple times a day. And she was like, oh, no, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, wait a minute, what? And she's like, yeah, we're keeping the windows clear. I'm like, yeah, you told me I couldn't put any signs up. Nobody said anything about curtains or shades or blinds or something, but it's blinding me. And she was very stubborn. And I immediately, when I first met her, I was like, I don't really like this lady that much. She was kind of annoying. Um, and I was frustrated. So we ended the conversation. I messaged the manager because the owners went out of town, and I was like, I need you to come and talk to me real quick if you have some time. So she came over, and I also had an issue with a new person in there, the nail person, and nobody thought about the acrylic smell, and it was coming into my room, and I knew I was going to lose clients over that, and I didn't like to inhale acrylic fumes when I didn't know that was a thing, and I don't think they thought about it. So anyways, I brought that up. She said, oh yeah, I'll talk to the owners about that. And then I brought up the blinds thing, and she said, oh, I didn't know she didn't want that, so let me try to talk her into it. And I was really hopeful. And then I got a text from her again, or for the first time, and she basically very, I don't know, professionally rudely told me we're not doing that, and it's in my lease that they can do that, that I'm not allowed to do that. Um, and her section was no substantial alterations, addition, or improvement shall be made without permission. Such consent shall not be unreasonably withheld, but may include the leasee's agreement to restore the dwelling to its prior condition before moving out. And it says the leasee is not permitted to put signage in any window. She conveniently didn't notice the part that says such consent shall not be unreasonably withheld. And so I explained to her, I had ChatGPT help me figure this out, like professionally and for my client's well-being and my own well-being. Like, I need to do this. Like, this is, inappropriate that you didn't tell me this in advance. I wouldn't have signed a lease had I not known, or had I known that I wouldn't have control over my space. It is my business. I pay a business license. I pay you a lease. Like, you shouldn't be telling me what to do in a window. Um, So we went back and forth a little bit, and she basically told me to go fuck myself. And I basically told her to go fuck herself as professionally as possible. And I'm like, if we can't come to a conclusion, I don't want to work with you people anymore because this isn't reasonable. And it's only been like the first week of me being there, maybe two. And the fact that we're having a problem the first month is an issue. And I was like, I'm going to look around. And I was so frustrated. I was so upset. I was freaking out. I have to move again. I hate these people. I'm pissed. Like, everything about this is making me just have a little mentee bee. I was also dealing with another business being a complete asshole, and having to deal with two terrible people in 1 week actually was just a little bit more than I could bear. And I called my mom, talking to my mom, had a little mentee bee in the parking lot and cried for a little bit. And then, I went to a new place to look at a suite, and I really liked it. It's nicer. The owner was super nice. He's younger. He's had it for a while. He knows issues. His wife is a barber. Like, it was smaller and cheaper, and I also don't have windows. But I was like, this is perfect. It's not very far away from where I moved. It's a busier location. I think it's nicer. So I decided to sign a lease there. And now I'm preparing that space, and I'm going to be moving in January, which is, a few days from now, basically. And I am asking the owners of my other place to reimburse me for the month of November and my security deposit, which I have a feeling they're going to have a problem with. So I'm really hoping that they do the right thing, because I have a lot of people that I know in this town, in this industry, and I'll make sure that everybody knows not to go in there because the owners are unreasonable and ridiculous. So needless to say, it's been a very hard couple of months trying to figure out, what I'm doing in my new space, and then not even be able to settle in, and now I'm going to a new place. Just, my life is all over the place. It's been a lot, but I'm actually excited now to be in this new place. I know it's going to work out, and I always figure out things. Everything always works out. It's just stressful for a while, and I forget that sometimes that everything will work out, but I just have to remind myself I'm pivoting. I'm still doing what I love. I still have my clients. My business will still be thriving. I'm just going to try to change a few new things in the new year. And I'm looking forward to a new start and a new change for myself. Um, this year has been a year of very expensive lessons for me. And I'm really hoping that I have learned a few lessons. Just choosing to not listen to my gut and maybe make a few spontaneous decisions that I didn't think about fully, which is frustrating. I'm 40 years old. I've had a business for a long time. I hate when I do that and then it doesn't work out. And then I'm like, see, I should have trusted myself and calmed down a little bit. And instead, I chose to make more of a rash decision or a quicker decision without thinking about it for a while. And that has cost me quite a bit of money, and some life lessons and some stress and some crying. But, it's fine. It's just money. I turned 40 this year, as we know, and I'm just learning that I get to use my voice. I can be kind and professional. But this is the year that I'm like, do not fuck with me. I am going to stand up for myself and I'm going to challenge you to do the right thing and to be respectful of me also. So I have had to use my voice multiple times this year and it's really scary. I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm a people pleaser. I don't like to cause problems. I don't like to hurt people's feelings on purpose. You know, I don't know. It's been hard for me to use my voice. I freak out a little bit, but I've been able to do it and I've learned a lot and it makes me feel better, of course, when I do. And I also wanted to share that this year I started taking an I don't know if it's what it is, but it's Wellbutrin, and I am shocked at how amazing I feel. I have so many friends that started taking different things and they're like, dude, it's life changing. And it really is. I can tell my anxiety is down. I'm not having like overwhelming mental breakdowns every month where I let things build up and then I freak out, cry, or say mean things or whatever. I'm not as depressed. I can get out of bed. I can follow through on things. I'm able to consistently go to the gym, consistently wake up more at a reasonable time. Like, I can sit at a computer and type a whole thing out, or work on things for a while without getting completely distracted. So it's helping my anxiety, my depression, and some of my ADHD things. And I also noticed that my back has been feeling better, or maybe I'm just not thinking about it as much because having chronic pain, oftentimes it just feels like that little guy on your back just sitting there all the time weighing on you. And I feel like it's less. And yeah, I am feeling great. Who knew? Drugs are amazing. A lot of my friends can attest to this, and I can tell a difference in them when they started taking stuff too. Um, so I didn't realize how bad some of my things were or what it's like to feel normal, I guess. I don't know. Maybe nobody's normal. But I'm really happy that I'm doing that and I'm able to do more things because of it, honestly. I think my anxiety and different things held me back in so many ways. I didn't really realize anxiety showed itself in not willing to have conversations or letting them build up and up until I like have to do it or I burst almost and I say things without thinking or again do rash things. Um, so, it's been interesting to see this about myself and learn that it's okay to do things like take medications if you need it. Nobody has to know, or you can tell everybody, who cares? It's your life. I'm doing so much better, so I'm very happy about that. And it's a good thing. So if anybody has any questions and wants to talk to me about it, hit me up. But um, this is just basically like a little quick episode to remind you that everybody is struggling. Everybody has had a hard year, I think. This has been a really tough year for a lot of people, mentally, emotionally, business wise. It's been a rough year, even though I've been consistent and made, okay money. I've had a lot of slowness. I've had clients leave. I have clients do their own hair. People tell me they can't afford me anymore. But then I've gained new people as well. So there's a lot of hard things, but some good things and things that I need to change coming up. And we need to be compassionate and understanding to other people because, again, like I said, lots of people are dealing with hard things right now. And we need to be conscious of that you are not the only one going through shit. And opening up to other people is very helpful and important. And I hope that you have at least one person that you can open up to and share your, struggles and feelings and emotions with, because keeping it all in is not helpful. And I tend to be the tough girl. I'm the oldest daughter. I just do things. I don't ask for help. I hate asking for help. I can do everything by myself. I don't want to anymore, and I'm trying to ask for help and be vulnerable more about those things. And people respond well, and it's so nice to know that when you're vulnerable, other people accept you and love you and help you as well. And so this is just a reminder for you to open up to somebody, be vulnerable, trust yourself. Let's think about things before we maybe make big decisions. Talk to a few other people about it. Wait a little bit. And it's something my coach Joy told me about, and I think I sort of ignored it. And Joy we're gonna have an episode with my business coach Joy. Should be the next episode coming up or before this. I didn't know, but it's a really awesome episode. She shared a lot, and she helped me a lot this year, honestly. I took a break from coaching, but it's been awesome. So I hope you tune into that, and I hope you have learned some things from some of the other people I've had on this show. I really enjoy doing it and bringing it to you and having conversations with people and just sharing their stories, sharing my stories with you. Even if I only have 4 listeners, I don't know. I enjoy sharing it with you anyways. And just to encourage you once again, to be vulnerable. You can do hard things. Ask for help. And it's okay to pivot in your life. You're not a failure. You're just changing things. And you get to change things about yourself or your life or whatever anytime that you want. And that's the beauty of life. We don't have to stick to one thing forever. We can do all kinds of new things. So this is just either your year end or beginning of the year reminder to be a badass continually, like you already are doing, and know that I am rooting for you, and I will continue to be a badass as well as a smartass all year. And I will continue to bring you more badass people for this podcast to share their stories and hope to encourage you. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Quick little chat with you, I guess. And I love you all. And I hope you have an amazing holiday with your family and friends, your chosen family, or alone like I am today on Christmas. So I can't wait to do more things with this podcast and my business in the next 2025. So cheers to you. Bye.